Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Today is February the 18th of 2017. It's a wonderful, beautiful Saturday here in southwest Missouri, and it feels like the beginnings of spring, actually. My name is Jay Goff of Legacy Leadership International. What I want to talk to you today about is, make sure I had this on right, yes, self-talk. Self-thought, self-esteem, self-confidence, what we think, what we hear, what we say. Many of us have had this, almost everybody, actually, not just many, but I believe every single one of us has had those moments in our times in life where we kept ourselves from achieving more because we thought of ourselves less. And the things that we thought of ourselves as limited our belief in ourselves. One of the biggest things that keeps us from ever achieving true greatness and the things that we're truly equipped to do and achieve is the lack of our belief in ourselves. So when we lack belief in ourselves, self-belief, then we will not behave and become all that we truly can become. And I know by our Creator, we were all designed for greatness. We weren't designed for mediocrity. We serve a great God that has created us in His likeness and His greatness, and His greatness is beyond comprehension. But yet we tend to limit our own abilities based on our human comprehension. So I want to challenge you for a little bit. I want to challenge your thinking. I want you to start thinking thoughts of your greatness, of how truly great you are. When we want to become successful in anything, usually that comes from a level of confidence. If I wanted to be a star basketball player, right? Well, I'd have to have the level of confidence that's going to help me to achieve that level of stardom and greatness. So self-confidence is what helps us to become what we desire to become. That comes only from building up our self-esteem. You see, you can't have a high level of self-esteem if you first do not have a high level of self-confidence. It doesn't work the other way around. You don't develop a highest self-esteem and then get the high level of confidence, the self-confidence. Self-confidence comes from competence. When we know what we know and we are assured and certain of it, to our abilities of it, then the level of our confidence is elevated. Okay? So when we feel good about what we can do, we'll feel good about who we are and who we can become. And that's self-esteem. Now, self-esteem comes from what we think. What do we think about ourselves? How are we thinking? What are we processing in our minds when we hear things from other people? See, first we have self-thoughts, how I think about myself, okay, which goes into self-esteem. But how I think, what am I thinking? Okay, self-esteem is more how I think about myself, how I feel about myself. Self-thoughts is what am I thinking about myself? What am I thinking about myself? And so when we bring into our minds and our realizations of our existence and our abilities, we discover that we're far greater than we ever believed we could become. Now, that's self-thoughts. Now, self-talk. Self-talk, some people say self-thoughts and self-talk is the same thing. Me, I like to say self-thoughts is when I'm thinking, self-talk is when I'm talking. Okay? Some people say when you're self-talking, you're thinking yourself into positivity, and I beg to differ. I believe it's very important, vitally important, that we engage our senses. And the senses of hearing is important because what we hear, our mind starts to comprehend and our brain starts to formulate and decipher. So that's why it's important to have self-talk, positive self-talk, assured self-talk, confident self-talk. I am the greatest. Muhammad Ali didn't just become the greatest because he was a great boxer, a great strategist, a great talker. Okay? He intimidated others by that incredible, immense confidence that he held. But he talked to himself a lot. I am the greatest. Sting like float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. There is none greater than me. And he told himself, because he understood the art of self-talk, how that truly does increase us and grow us to become all that we desire to become. He wanted to be the greatest in the world. And so he continued constantly, not only saying it to himself, but saying it to others. And when others began saying it, it only compounded. And it reassured him that he was the greatest. And so as we talk to ourselves out loud, we hear ourselves, we can process it, then we start thinking about it even more. What we think about, we start to believe. The more we think about something, the more we talk to ourselves and think about it and process it, the more we'll start to believe it. When we start believing things, then the level of our confidence starts building up. You know, competence is more than just book knowledge and world knowledge, but it's also self-knowledge. I believe that there's a high level of competence when we can understand and know ourselves even more. So the level of competence in our self-knowledge will increase the level of our confidence to become more. I'm Jay Goff of Legacy Leadership International. Life's what you live, legacy is what you leave, and leadership is the bridge. And I want you to focus on self-leadership, becoming more so you can do more so you can have more so you can give more, and when you can give more, then you can really live more abundantly. Until next time, folks, have a fantastic, beautiful weekend. Get out and spend some time with the family. Do something exciting this weekend. And I'll see you next time. Until then, God bless, and we love you.